students, good morning. How are you all? Yes, I know all must be fine, and all of you all are studying at home, doing the assignments, reading the textbook. Yes, am I correct? So, students, before starting the chapter, everyone please take out your textbook, notebook, and your writing material. That is your pen, pencil, whatever. Without textbook and notebook, no one is going to sit for the class. Please take out. Today, today we are going to continue the same chapter, History of India Art. Today we will complete this chapter. So before completing, let's have a quick recap, whatever we have completed in our previous two classes. Okay, just brush up your previous lecture. Let's start with it. Here, students, in the previous class, we have seen what is art. Art is an natural human instinct to share the experience, wisdom, and other emotions in a beautiful way. What here art means whatever the person feels on the basis of his
Yeah, ma'am,
experience.
excuse me.
Yes, ma'am.
Again, the screen is not visible.
Screen is not visible.
Ma'am,
But here it is showing. But ma'am, here though I have shared the screen.
I don't know. Then how it is not visible to me?
Okay, wait, I'll just try
I'll
one
ask
more
one
time.
of the student, 1 minute.
Okay, no, again I am sharing.
Okay.
Now?
Yes.
Now is it visible, ma'am?
Yes, yes, it is visible now. Please continue.
Okay, I think due to network issue it might be. Yes, students. So we have seen that art is an human instinct which a person express on the basis of his experience and emotion. When this experience and emotions comes out into a beautiful creation, it is known as an art. Right? So in that we have seen there are two types of art, visual art and performing art. Visual art, which we see. Whose mic is on? Please mute yourself. Who's this? Hello, ma'am. Who is he? Hello. Everyone, please mute yourself. Hello. Hello, ma'am. Yes, here the two types of art, visual art and the performing art. Visual art in Sanskrit, which is known as Drik Kala, and performing art, which is known as Lalit or Angik Kala. Right? Drik Kala, that is which you can see and do. Like for example, painting is a visual art. Which one it is drawn, and anytime you can just visualize it. That is an art. Whereas the performing art, you can't just do it and keep it. That is a live performance, right? That's about the visual art, the performing art. Then the folk art and the classical art. Folk art, that is in that you don't need any training or experiences, you don't need practice, whereas the classical art you need prolonged training and practice. Folk art, which is without any rules and regulation. Classical art, which is a set of rules and regulation which is to be followed, right? Then the art of painting, here there are the rules and regulation are there in what all rules and regulation have to be followed in the art of painting. Then the folk style of painting, in which you don't need any kind of rules and regulation, that we completed. Then the classical style of painting we did. Then the miniature painting in the manuscripts, Western style of painting. Then we completed sculpture art, the meaning of sculpture we completed. Then the folk style of sculpture art, classical style of sculpture art. Then Indian iconography. In iconography means the study of God and goddess, their icons, that is the iconography. Then we completed these architecture and sculpture, that is the rock cut caves and the other types of temple architecture. Then the monuments like Qutub Minar, construction of Taj Mahal, then the British construction. Till here we completed in our last lecture. I hope now you got the idea कहाँ तक हमने किया था, right? Now today let's start with the Indian traditions of performing art. Right? So here, now in Indian tradition of performing art, in that first we will focus on the tradition of performing folk art. Till now, we were just seeing about the major part we have seen about the visual art. Now we are going to see the Indian tradition of performing art. We will just focus on the traditions of India in the field of performing art. First, we are going to see tradition of performing folk art. Previously, I explained you the meaning of folk art. Folk art, when people, they represent their happiness, their sadness, and their emotions, and they enjoy that part without following the rules and regulation, without any practice. Anyone can do, a child, a woman, and man, even a senior citizen also, they can do, right? So here, tradition of performing folk art. India has independent and varied tradition of folk song, folk instrumental music, folk dance, and folk theatre, which are the characteristic of every particular region. Students, everyone know that India is a diverse country. So many religions, so many caste, language, race, culture, tradition, food, clothing, such a vast country with so many varieties. So if we are having so much variation in language and culture, then why not in dance, music, and theater art? Obviously, Maharashtra follows different folk dance, music, and song. South follows different, North follows different, right? So that is why we are having very tradition of folk art, folk song, folk instrumental music, dances, and theater. So much variety we are having, which represents the characteristics of particular region. Like for example, if in Maharashtra we have performed expressing their emotions, their art, they are representing, right? So here that there exists many rich tradition of performing folk art in Maharashtra also. They developed as an integral part of religious festival and social life, right? So here, how this folk art developed? this folk art developed here, that is when? Because of the social events, festivals, like for social events, as in when people were coming together for a meeting, for get together, for marriage function, for any ritual. They were coming together, they were dancing, expressing themselves. Slowly, slowly, this tradition formed. Similarly, during festivals, they were coming together and they developed this art. And so slowly, slowly, all these art and tradition became the integral part of festivals and social life. Integral means important part, right? Then here, to name a few examples, we may mention Koli dance, Tarappa dance, Dashavatar of Konkan, Kovra, Kirtan, Jagar Gondal, etc. So all these folk dance are okay. So here we completed with the tradition of performing folk art. Let's move on to the tradition of classical performing art. Students, if any doubt you have, please mark the doubt, write down in a notebook important terms which you found. Okay, this is important for the exam point of view, or this is this meaning I need to remember or need to ask. Please write down. Okay. Okay. Now, the tradition of classical performing art. Till here, we were talking about the folk performing art, right? Now here, the tradition of classical performing art. Students, I explained you in the beginning only. What do you mean by classical? Classical means you need to, classical means a person should have proper teaching of that art. They should have a proper training, practice. They should follow the rules and regulation which is into this, right? Here, India has a rich heritage of classical performing art too. The text of Natya Shastra written by Bharat Muni is supposed to be the earliest one discussing music and theatre. Here, India has a rich heritage of classical performing art. I can say that no other country is having such a rich heritage of classical art. Seriously, India is very, very rich in that part. Now here, the text, Natya Shastra. Now here, text, that is a book which is written, named as Natya Shastra. Natya Shastra, a name in Sanskrit, which is written by Bharat Muni, which means Natya means dance. Shastra means the this one, the knowledge of that, right? So in Hindi we can say the dance natya karne ki shastra vidya, right? So here in that book he has mentioned the 9 moods, 9 rasas, supposed to be the fundamental in the presentation of the Indian performing art, right? The students, if you remember, in the painting, in the classical painting also we have seen a few emotions, 6 fundamental things which is to be mentioned in the painting. Similarly, in the classical performing art also, Bharat Muni in his text Natya Shastra, he has written that this 9 elements is very, very important in the Natya Shastra. Okay. Now here, the first one is a Shringar. Shringar means person should know how to express love, right? Hasya, which means humor. You can also say comedy. When a person is performing an art, either it is dance or drama, he should have the knowledge of creating hasya, humor, or comedy, right? Then the third one, that is the third mood, is a vibhatsa. That is a repulsion. Fourth one, raudra. That is a terrible. Okay. So here, the vibhatyasa, that is you should know. Raudra, that is you should have the art of creating the terror. Karuna, that is the sad. Then the next one, veer, heroic, that is a brave. You should know that. Then the bhayanak, fearful. If any horror part you're expressing, then this bhayanak part you should know how to express. Then the adbhut. Adbhut means wondrous. That any wondrous thing, any fantastic thing, if you want to express, then you should know the this knowledge how to express that. Then the shant, that is peaceful. So if these 9 elements, these fundamental 9 elements, if you have in your classical performing art, then only you are a perfect classical performer. You should know this, right? Then here, Indian people came into contact with the cultural tradition of other nation, and that resulted into blending of many different streams in the presentation of Indian performing art, enriching them over time. As a result, style of presenting classical vocal music, instrumental music, and dance came into existence. Various schools preserving those styles were also created. Here, students, in India, what happened when Indian people came into contact with the cultural tradition of other nations, and that resulted into blending of different streams in the presentation of performing art. What here we Indian did? We just mixed our Indian tradition with the other other culture tradition, and we came up with a new performing art, and which slowly it got developed. If you go back in the painting part, in the architecture part, remember when the Indian culture came into contact with the Persian culture and the Greek culture, Roman culture, we form a different new architecture style, and we slowly develop that part. Similarly, over here in the performing art also, where we mixed up our Indian tradition with the other traditional culture, their art, and slowly we developed and we enriched those part over a time. As a result, many styles of presenting of classical vocal music. Vocal music means you're singing also and you are playing music also. Then the instrumental music, dance came into existence. Various schools preserving those styles were also created. So after when slowly we were developing, schools also started which were trying to preserve our tradition and passing to the other generation. Here, there are two main branches of Indian classical music, that is Hindustani music and Carnatic music. Similarly, there are two forms in it, that is a classical, which is known as Shastriya, and semi-classical, that is Upshastri. The semi-classical has included many styles of folk music. Okay, now here that is in what we in the classical art we are having two parts, that is the Hindustani music and the Carnatic music. Students, Carnatic music, that is basically representing the South culture. In that you can include Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Telangana, all these parts. and they represent the Carnatic music. Hindustani music, that is universal, but basically that is from the north, right? And in the classical also, in this classical music also, we are having two parts, that is classical and semi-classical. Classical, that is full complete, it is classical performing art with all the rules and regulation, and the semi-classical, which is the mixture as in it is a combination of classical art and also the folk art. We came up with different idea, right? A beautiful blend of all three forms of music, vocal, instrumental, and dance can be seen in various Indian classical dance forms like Kathak of North India, Lavani of Maharashtra, Odissi of Odisha, Bharatnatyam of Tamil Nadu, and Kathakali and Mohinittam of Kerala. So here, what they are trying to say? They are trying to say that all these forms of dance, Lavani, Bharatnatyam, Kathakali, Kathak, all these are the forms. They are the combination of music, vocal, instrumental, and dance. So in such type of classical music, we will find combination of all four all four types of art. Okay. Then, in India, in the post independence period, various festivals of music and dance are organized with a view to make it accessible to common people. Many people attend this festival, including Indians and foreigners alike. The Savai Gandhar festival of Pune is a famous one. So, students, here, uh, till now, in India, uh, after the independence period, now what the artists were trying to do? Artists were trying to spread the knowledge of these art to the common people. They were trying to make it accessible to everyone. Why? Because that time showing the visual art was very difficult. Why? Because the access of television was not that easy during that time. So street play, drama, theater, these were the these were the easiest way. So they were trying to show, they were trying to access to the common people. Many people attend these festivals, including Indians and foreigners alike. So the famous one was the Sevai Gandhar festival of Pune is very famous one. Now also it is very famous of Pune. Then lately we can see an inclination. Students, inclination means bending towards that, jhukav in Hindi, which we can see an inclination towards experimenting and creating fusion of various music styles. Students, what do you mean by fusion? Fusion means mixing two different things. Suppose, for example, I am mixing classical art with the Western style, or I am mixing classical music with the Bollywood music. Any two types of music or song or dance I am mixing, when I am mixing, it is known as fusion. Okay, so by trying to overcome the limitations imposed by the traditional style or school. Here, now, why we started mixing? Why? Why? Because we were going out of the box. We were crossing the limits. After crossing the limits, coming out of the limitations which was set by the various other artists, no, this dance should be like this only. No, this song should be like that only. We were coming out of this, and by with the help of the fusion, we were forming a new art. Pandit Uday Shankar is a prominent name among such artists who created a new style. He successfully created a fusion of Indian classical dance and European opera. Here, Pandit Uday Shankar, the prominent name. Prominent means important name among such artists who created a new style. Right. So here in the example, they have given the one name, which is a very important name, who came up with a new style. Now, what he did, he successfully created a fusion of classical dance and European opera. You just imagine how beautiful it is. Students, European opera, you might have heard slow music, which is in English language, right? Which is combined with the classical dance, right? So he did that part. Then he also included various forms of folk dance in his style. Thus, the scope of the presentation of Indian performing arts seems to be constantly expanding. The same phenomena is apparent in the field of Indian visual art. So here, when if we were only stuck with the classical style only, or we are stuck with the folk style only, so it was very difficult for creating new styles. But what we did, we mix up, we created the fusion, classical with European opera, folk with Western style, or this one, classical with folk. Such kind of mixing we keep on doing. We keep on enriching the art, and we develop so many types of performing art. So that is why the scope also kept on expanding constantly, and this phenomena is apparent in the field of Indian visual art. So students, performing art is not that vast as the visual art. Here the in your book textbook, the visual art part was vast, and the performing art is not that much. But the whatever which is given about the classical art, classical performing art, which that is very, very important. Study that, note down the doubt. We will have our doubt session later. Okay. Now let's go to the art, applied art, and the professional opportunities. Yes, students, many of you all think that what will do by becoming an artist in spite of painting or in spite of doing architecture, or what is the scope in the field of history, right? So here that there is also given that how you can grow in the field of art and history, right? Let's see. Art history is an independent branch of knowledge. Various opportunities of research are available in this field. So, in history and especially the applied art, you will find the research part too many. The first one is an art historian can work in the field of journalism. So historians can also work in the journalism, like they can do the research, they come up with the information and they publish and make it accessible for the people, right? Next one. Art market is an independent field. It calls for special expertise to access the exact value of an art object and to ensure that it is a genuine. An expert with a deep understanding of art history is required for these tasks. So here, students, art market as in suppose, for example, 40 years before, this one a statue I got, or any sculptural art I got, or any kind of painting I got, or stone. So there should be a historian or the expert who has the knowledge about the value of that material. What is the value of that painting, whether it is in thousand, in lakhs, or crore, or same with the sculptural art. So what in this type of market, what the expert does, they access the exact value of that object which is genuine. They understand the value, and according to that they go into deep history of the required task, right? Then the next one, heritage management and the cultural tourism are recently developed fields. In this field, students of art can find many professional opportunities like museums and archives management, library science and information technology, archaeological research, endology are some important fields in this regard. Students in our further chapter, you are going to study about the history and tourism, how history and tourism is related. In that, you will study in deep. Here, heritage management and the cultural tourism that is also developed in this field. So how you can grow in this field? You can get the opportunities in the museum, archives management, students archives. I hope you know in your first chapter, Sources of History of 9th standard, it was taught to you. Archives, where the written documents are kept, that is archives. Then the library science, archaeological research, all these things you can set your career or you can get the opportunity. Okay. Then the applied art. Applied art till here, how you can uh, see or set the career in the applied art. The visual and the performing art are primarily looked upon as a means of entertainment for people. The artists perform primarily with the purpose. However, there is a scope of combine an artistic creation with the utility value to make it economical viable. Thus, the artistic creation with the utilitarian purpose is called an applied art. So, students here, how you are combining the visual and the performing art both and make it very, very economical for the people. Let's see to it. Here, the first one, industry and the advertisement, interior designing and production of ornamental object, art design of stage backdrops, then art direction for films and television, creating attractive layouts for books, magazines, calligraphy, production of greeting cards, invitation cards, customized stationery, gifts, objects, etc. The field of applied art. So here, when you are having the art of visual art like drawing, painting, and all. So in our industry and advertisement, interior designing, stage backdrops, all these things you can go for it. Even in for layout of the books, magazines, calligraphy, in this part also you can move further. A very good scope is there. The field of architecture, photography are also the part of the applied art. Nowadays still an animated graphics created with the help of computers are used for the various purpose. Students, you all know that photography having such a big demand. And apart from that, graphics also, you can see various cartoons. They are so famous. And graphics, most of the art nowadays, they are digital. So you can go and show your creativity, your art in that field also. This is also applied art, ornaments, artistic creation of metals, earthen pots with colorful design, objects made from the cane and bamboo, beautiful glass objects, attractive textile and clothing, etc. can also be listed under applied art. So again, these are the handicrafts which you can go for it. Right. So here we completed with the applied art. Every field mentioned above requires a detailed planning and meticulous management at every stage of production. So students, in whichever field you go, you need a perfect planning and the management art. It is essential to employ trained and skilled individuals at every stage. Some of the production process of the artistic objects have history of certain tradition. The developed of each productive process has its own history. So students, whatever, whichever kind of art, applied art you are going for it, they are having a perfect history. So try to preserve the history and then develop it. Right. There are few institutions which offer technical and occupational training in the above mentioned fields. That is the Among them, the National Institute of Design in Ahmedabad, Gujarat, is a world-renowned institute, which the institute has introduced an online course since 2015. Earlier, there was only offline courses were there, but now there is the online courses also. So students among you all who are very good in painting, designing, sculptural art, or music, dance, so it is not that okay, you can grow in this field only. In painting is there, okay, you can do the painting and do the exhibition. No, there are vast field if you go about it. Go with it and show your creativity. Okay, so students, here we completed our chapter India tradition of art, right? So let's have a recap of it. What we have seen about the art: visual art, art of painting, folk style of painting, miniature style of painting, western style, sculptural, classical, architectural, and the performing, folk style, and the classical style. So students, here is your assignment. What you need to do: you need to collect more information on the opportunities of applied art. I have mentioned few, but the other one you need to collect. Okay. Now here your question session doubt round. Okay. Yes, students, any doubt? Please raise your hand if you have any doubt. Hello. Students, any doubt? Any question? Any meaning which you didn't understand? Everyone understood everything? Hello, ma'am. Hello, ma'am. Hello. Students who are raising their hands, please unmute yourself and ask the doubt. Hello. Hello, ma'am. Hello. Ma'am, am I audible? Hello. Yes, ma'am. Jatin, Shaista, please unmute yourself and ask the doubt. Hello, ma'am. Shall we wind up? Ma'am? Yes, ma'am.
हेलो मिस।
Yes.
मिस असाइनमेंट क्या है, एक बार मतलब दिखाओ ना उसका पीडीएफ।
Dear, you need to collect more information that कि applied art में और कौन से opportunities है. What else you can do in the field of applied art as a career point of view. Okay. So
Okay.
you need to collect more information on this. Clear?
क्लियर। टीचर इंडोलॉजी मतलब?
Yes.
इंडोलॉजी।
Indology. Okay. Hello.
यस मिस।
Am I audible?
यस टीचर।
Yes. Dear, endology means it is a study of human body. Like
स्टडी
for
ऑफ
yes, a doctrine of end doctrine of system of human body. Like for example, in excavation, historians got the skeleton.
यस।
Okay, so that skeleton कितना पुराना है, men का, human being का है या animal का है, how we come to know that कि dinosaur was existing, how we come to know that men were monkeys earlier, due to this study, endology. Okay.
ओके मिस, थैंक यू।
Yes. Any other doubt? Dear, what's your name?
शाइस्ता।
Very good, Shaista. Any other child? Yes. Venkatesh, Afreen Khan. Who is this Techno Camon? Please rename yourself properly.
Students, unmute yourself. You're raising your hands.
Only one person, only one child asked the doubt. Others are just raising their hand, not asking.
Venkatesh, you're raising your hand. Techno Cannon, please rename yourself. You're raising your hand.
हेलो मिस।
What is your
Yes.
name and your full name?
Yes. Who is asking the doubt?
Techno Cannon.
Yes. Yes. What's your doubt? Please ask. Dear, your voice is breaking. Huh? Hello? Your voice is not clear. Hello?
Tanaz Sheikh. If you're not having task, ask. Lower your hand. Don't raise your hand if you're not having doubts. Badruddin Sheikh. Lower your hands. I think you're not having doubts. Purposely you're raising your hands. Jadin Ansari. Venkatesh. Ansari Shaista, again you're having any doubt? Okay, ma'am, I think they're not asking anything.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, so
Okay,
shall we wind up?
here then?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so
Yes,
much, ma'am.
please play the video.
Students, thank you. And please be completing the assignments, okay? And study well. Bye. We will meet again tomorrow.
हेलो मिस
Yes.
मिस नेपथ्य मतलब
Sorry.
नेपथ्य
Your voice is not clear, dear.
मिस
Can you write down in the chat?
but teacher chat is disabled.
Okay, okay. Please repeat again.
Nepathya. NEPATHYA.
Tell the full sentence. I think you are not pronouncing properly.
Industrial advertisement, interior design and production of ornamental objects are design of stage backdrops. Nepathya.
Okay.
In applied art, teacher.
Okay. Page number 30, right?
Yes.
Interior design, production of ornamental object, right?
Yes, yes.
Industry and advertisement, interior design and production of ornamental object, art design of stage backdrop, nephathya. Stage backdrop, that is the setup of the stage, right? Stage before drama or for dance, which kind of setup is there? So nephathya is a Sanskrit name for the stage backdrop. How? Yes, yes, yes. It is not the English term. Nepathya means that is the setup of the stage. That the drama and this dance, how it is going about according to the theme, the backdrop of the stage. So it is a Sanskrit name of backdrop. Okay.
Okay, miss. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, bacha. Okay. Anything else? Okay, ma'am. So we'll wind up. Okay.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Yes. Thank you, ma'am. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you, students. We'll continue for the next lecture. Wait here. Don't leave the session.